Life teaches us early to care too much about success, about opinions, about appearances. We grow up measuring our worth by approval, chasing validation as if it were oxygen. In The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Fuck, Mark Manson challenges this madness. He says that the key to happiness is not caring about everything, but learning what truly deserves your care. Freedom begins the moment you stop wasting energy on what doesn't matter. Manson's philosophy is not about apathy, it's about clarity. He invites us to confront the uncomfortable truth that our time, energy, and attention are limited. When you try to give a fuck about everything, you end up giving nothing that really counts. Peace comes not from caring less about life, but from caring more selectively. Focusing on what aligns with your values, not your fears. We live in a culture that worships positivity, but Manson reminds us that real growth is born from struggle. Pain is not a problem, it's a teacher. The more we resist discomfort, the weaker we become. Every moment of suffering carries an invitation to build resilience. Life will hurt, but that hurt can carve wisdom if you let it. What you choose to care about defines who you become. At its core, this book is a rebellion against entitlement. It's about rejecting the illusion that we deserve a life free of challenges. Manson writes that the pursuit of constant happiness is a trap. It makes us fragile. Instead, he teaches that embracing problems gives life depth. Happiness is not achieved by avoiding pain, but by finding meaning within it. The subtle art of not giving a fuck means choosing your struggles wisely. You can't control everything, but you can control what you focus on. Every no you say to distractions becomes a yes to yourself. Every time you stop explaining your worth, you reclaim your power. Caring less about being liked allows you to live more aligned with truth. Freedom is found in boundaries, not in approval. Manson says that our society has confused comfort with success. We assume that feeling good all the time is the goal, but growth demands discomfort. If you only chase pleasure, you end up enslaved by it. The strongest people are not those who avoid pain, but those who face it with purpose. Pain with meaning becomes progress. Suffering without meaning becomes chaos. He explains that values are the foundation of happiness. When your values are external, fame, money, popularity, your peace depends on others. But when your values are internal, honesty, courage, humility, your peace depends only on you. The subtle art is not about caring less, it's about caring better. It's a disciplined form of self-respect. Manson also dismantles the myth of specialness. You are not extraordinary, and that's liberating. The pressure to always be exceptional leads to constant disappointment. Real confidence is not built on superiority, but on acceptance. You stop needing to be the best and start wanting to be real. Once you accept your ordinariness, you free yourself from the prison of comparison. Failure, he says, is not the opposite of success, but the path to it. Every failure is data. Every mistake is feedback. The ones who grow are those who stop protecting their egos long enough to learn. Caring less about looking perfect allows you to evolve faster. Perfection kills progress. Humility fuels it. True growth happens when you stop performing and start improving. The power of saying no becomes one of Manson's greatest lessons. Every yes is a contract with your time, energy, and soul. When you say yes to everything, you live scattered. But when you say no with intention, your life gains direction. The art of not giving a fuck is the art of choosing. Choose meaning over noise, depth over distraction, purpose over popularity. Manson reminds us that death is the ultimate filter. When you remember that your time is finite, Your priorities shift. Suddenly, opinions matter less, possessions matter less, and presence matters more. Mortality, far from being depressing, gives urgency to life. You start to ask, if I died tomorrow, would this matter? Most things don't survive that question, and that's where wisdom begins. This book also challenges the myth of control. Most anxiety comes from trying to manage the uncontrollable. What people think, what outcomes unfold, what the future holds. Manson's advice is simple: surrender to uncertainty. Focus only on what you can act upon today. Acceptance is not weakness, it's clarity. The one who accepts reality wastes no energy fighting it. The subtle art is not a philosophy of indifference, it's a philosophy of focus. When you stop reacting to every irritation, you gain emotional stability. When you stop chasing constant pleasure, you find peace in simplicity. Happiness is not intensity, it's alignment. Life becomes lighter when you stop giving OFP 20K about impressing others and start investing in your truth. Caring less about what others think doesn't make you cold. It makes you conscious. You realize that most people's judgments are projections of their own fears. The more you understand this, the less you take things personally. You stop living as a reflection of others and start living as a reflection of your principles. That shift is liberation. Manson speaks about responsibility as the key to freedom. You can't control everything, but you can always control your response. Owning your choices, even when painful, gives you power. Blaming others keeps you small. Taking responsibility makes you strong. The art of not giving a fuck is not escape. It's ownership. It's looking life in the eye and saying, I choose this. The paradox of caring less is that you start living more fully. When you stop obsessing over outcomes, you rediscover joy in the process. When you stop needing to win every argument, you rediscover peace in silence. You become lighter because you're no longer dragging the weight of everyone's expectations. Letting go becomes the ultimate act of power. Manson insists that honesty is the most underrated form of strength. Being honest about your limits, your emotions, your flaws, that's where real confidence grows. Pretending to have it all together is exhausting. Honesty liberates you from the performance of perfection. The world doesn't need your mask. It needs your truth. The book also explores the beauty of saying, I don't know. Admitting ignorance is not weakness. It's intelligence. The beginner's mind learns endlessly, while the know-it-all stagnates. Freedom is found not in knowing everything, but in being curious enough to learn. You stop needing to be right and start needing to understand. That's wisdom. In every chapter, Manson reminds us that discomfort is the price of meaning. Avoiding pain creates a shallow life. Facing it builds character. The people you admire most are not those who had easy lives, but those who kept going despite the chaos. Greatness is never comfortable. It's crafted through chaos, refined through failure, and anchored in purpose. Caring selectively becomes an act of love. You stop scattering your energy across meaningless things and start protecting it like sacred currency. You care deeply for what truly matters: your growth, your loved ones, your peace. Everything else fades into background noise. You realize that inner peace is not found in doing more, but in needing less. Manson's message cuts through modern noise. Life is not about constant happiness, but constant awareness. When you stop chasing the illusion of perfection, you make space for authenticity. Real happiness comes not from avoiding problems, but from choosing better ones. The goal is not a painless life, but a purposeful one. The subtle art of not giving a fuck is, in truth, the art of wisdom. You stop wasting energy on proving, performing, or pretending. You learn to be present. You accept your flaws, forgive your past, and focus on now. Life stops being a performance and becomes an experience. Simplicity replaces chaos. Peace replaces pressure. Freedom, Manson teaches, is not external. It's the ability to say, this matters, that doesn't. It's choosing depth over approval, honesty over image, and peace over popularity. The world will keep demanding your attention, but you get to choose where it goes. And that choice defines your entire life. At the end of the book, Manson reminds us that caring less is an act of faith. Faith that you don't need to control everything to be okay. Faith that meaning grows from struggle. Faith that peace doesn't need applause. The subtle art of not giving a fuck is the art of living wide open, unbothered, grounded, and fully awake. Because in the end, the greatest power is presence. When you no longer give a fuck about what doesn't matter, you finally have space for what does. And that space, quiet, clear, and alive, is where the real art of living begins.